Afternoon, everybody. So the second lockdown has ended here on the Isle of Wight. Still got to do the bubble thing and be sensible. But what's great is, just as the lockdown ended earlier on this week, we've now ended up at the weekend and we have blue skies with fluffy clouds. We have dry roads, although the ground is still quite a bit wet. And we have a northerly wind of about 10 to 15 miles an hour. So I'm on my way down to Afton. It's on the south west corner of the island to meet Paddy from High Adventure. For those of you who watch regularly, you'll know that Paddy's my instructor and he's taking me through my club pilot course at the moment. So I'm looking forward to getting underneath the Ozone mothership, which I've not done for about 2 months, 3 months. Hopefully be windy enough to be able to do some ridge soaring and stay up rather than doing the top to bottoms. But we shall see when we get there. It's interesting actually, I don't know whether other people who've been going through the training or when they were training have experienced this, but actually a bit nervous. Not been airborne for a while. For those of you who saw the last video, you remember I did some soaring off the cliffs on the south of the island and had about a 20-minute flight, which actually is longer than any of the other flights all put together during training, and absolutely great fun, really enjoyed it. But having not flown for a while, of course, I'm just a little bit nervous, tentative. Will it be too windy? Will it not be windy enough? Getting the wing up, stabilising it above my head, and remembering, of course, everything that I've been taught so far. So this will be a gentle introduction back into flying, of course. So any tips or advice if you've taken a break from flying for a while because of lockdown, or as we know our English weather isn't the best, please do put them in the comments below. Don't forget hit to the bell as well and get notifications, and do subscribe. Obviously we've not been out flying for a while, so there's been a shortage of videos, but I do plan whenever I go out flying, right through my club pilot course training, and thereafter, of course, when the learning really starts, then I hope to get plenty of videos up. So hit the bell, hit the subscribe button. I think that's what the vloggers say, the YouTubers who do this far better than I. And apologies for the noise in the back of the car, that's just a water bottle rattling around. So never get bored of driving on the island. The views are spectacular. I'm looking out to the right now, right over towards Yarmouth and the Solent and the mainland. Absolutely gorgeous weather. I'm really quite enjoying the drive. Mind you, it is northerly, so it's a bit cold, bit of a nip in the air. Thank goodness for warm seats, eh? So what have we been doing during the lockdown? Well, the weather's been abysmal, so I've not been out flying, obviously. And with the lockdown, of course, we're limited about what we can do and what sports we can participate in. So you may remember I got that ground handling wing off Paddy, the Ozone Atom, and I asked Paddy whether it was a flyable wing, and he wasn't sure, and we felt not. So I thought, do you know what, even if ground handling, then it's better to be safe than sorry. And of course you should never ground handle without having helmet protection, etc, etc. So I thought I'll send it off to the loft down in Sussex just to get it checked out. And the long and the short of it is not a flyable wing. Some of the lines are let's say not up to the standard that they should be, but perfect for ground handling, which is great, because the one thing I hear more than anything else is, of course, ground handle practice, ground handle practice. So now that the lockdown has been lifted, I can get out and start practicing my ground handling with that wing, which will be great. Also managed to pick up a harness that fits me slightly better than the one Paddy supplied to me, which isn't the best fit at all. So got onto eBay, and it's a reversible one, so it's very light, really cheap. Nothing wrong with it at all, second hand, so that's going to be doing me great for when I'm ground handling. So any tips or tricks anybody can share, what you do when you go out ground handling, what exercises you do, then do share them in the comments just down below. And I've been watching YouTube videos, as I think most people do with their chosen hobby when we have this lockdown or we have bad weather. Andre Bandara, great website, some really interesting stuff on there. So I've been watching some of his videos, particularly around ground handling. They're out in Portugal and tend to do most of their flying around the beach, around the cliffs, not unlike the south of the Isle of Wight where I am, which is great. Weather's probably a bit different though in Portugal than here. And the other videos which I would recommend anybody to watch is Greg Hamilton's videos, Fly with Greg, and he's got a YouTube channel, and they're really short, sharp and punchy, but absolutely rich with tips, advice, guidance. He was part of the Fly Bubble team, of course, but those videos, you know, 10 basic tips for flying, 4 tips for ground handling, doing forward launches, all really, really good stuff. So I've been watching some of those as well. Hopefully I'll be able to put some of it into practice under the guidance of Paddy. So here we are at the top of Afton, and if you can see the sky behind me, you can see how grey it is. And if I just turn the camera around, not much different looking out forwards with a few breaks there. So Paddy and I are just taking a break, just for 5 minutes, contemplating life, the Zen art of parawaiting.
Parawaiting again.
Absolutely, again, indeed. So
but you've got to do more.
Absolutely. Apparently, it is a although the EP course and CP course tend to take between 5 and 8 days each, the parawaiting course is about 12 months.
The full Monty course.
The full Monty course. The great thing about highadventure paragliding.com and the chief instructor Paddy is that he doesn't want you to miss out on any aspect of paragliding whatsoever. And watching other
water landings next.
Without
the glider.
Water landing next without the glider.
Without the glider, straight to the bay.
So yes, we get the full experience of parawaiting, watching other mammals flying, which aren't necessarily two-legged and under a wing. But as I've been told, every day on the Isle of Wight is a flying day, not necessarily for humans. So we'll give it another 10 minutes and see what happens. You may or may not see this video at some point in the future. Well, there you go then. Yeah, it's a bit wet. Very little wind down here now. Just rain, and you can see what's behind me. And earlier on, Paddy and I decided that it might happen, so we took a walk up to up here, just on Afton Down, actually more kind of there. And we got up there, and it was dry, and the wind was a bit gusty, but it was kind of no worse than yesterday, Sunday rather. So we thought we would give it a go, and we sat and we gave it 10 minutes, and actually it started to shower, and then it started to rain, and we gave it a bit longer and kind of cuddled up the glider to stop it getting wet, and it rained a bit more, and so we sat there, and eventually we decided to call it a day. And of course, as we came down the hill with a glider on my back and on foot, of course, I learnt something else. So this clip will probably form part of a bigger what have I learnt video, but nevertheless, discretion is the better part of valour. We could have sat there, but it is getting dark, it is getting a bit blustery, and behind me here, as you can see looking north, there isn't much changing. That looks particularly typical of what we've had all afternoon. So parawaiting learned, waiting in the rain learned, and walking down a hill with the glider packed up again learned. It's all good, this CP training. Anyway, we'll catch you soon. Take care and stay dry. Okay. Shall we have a look?
Okay, radio, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Whatever happens, enjoy it.
Yeah. Sounds good. That was lovely. Have to go again?
Well, don't have to do it.
Yeah. Yep. It's a bit everywhere. Yeah. And over the top it goes. Bugger. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if there's a bit of stuff coming off that bush.